Hey everybody, welcome to the Stock Car Spectacle. I'm Ian Jortson,
And I'm Nick Kinzel.
and man, it was a weird one for Martinsville this past weekend. We'll get into all that, and we got Talladega coming up this weekend as well. We're both going out there for our second time out there, but before we dig into all that, let's start off with our diecast of the week. Nick, what you got for us?
Well, yeah, we are going to Talladega this weekend, and we were talking about this yesterday during the Martinsville race about how much we loved just that signature Wood Brothers 21 scheme. So I busted out 2014 Wood Brothers Trevor Bayne Ford Fusion. He ran this car at Talladega. Actually, the bags board is this car. The bags
Oh
board
yeah,
it's this car leading at Talladega because he got up to the lead in the 2014 race, I want to say for about 10 laps. He was actually battling Dale Earnhardt Jr., so that was pretty cool. So, yeah, you just
there you
can't beat
go.
the signature, the red, the white, and the
Oh,
gold. And when you think the Wood Brothers and Trevor Bayne, you think of super speedways, and yeah, this car's beautiful.
oh yeah, dude, that is a classic paint scheme right there. Nothing beats it, man. Nothing beats it.
Nothing beats it.
Yeah, that is old school NASCAR right there. But yeah, we're talking Talladega. So for my diecast of the week, I had to bust out Noah Gregson's Talladega win from last year. We were there to see it in person. I went wild, may have tossed some beer on some people.
Ian, let's go!
I don't regret that one bit because got to see my boy win for the second time, and man, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It's just this classic black rifle paint scheme. Badass fucking car, and yeah, hopefully we'll see a dub in the Wendy's car this weekend.
Hell yeah. There's just something about Noah Gregson winning at a track like Talladega. It fits
Oh,
perfectly.
it suits him, man. That's his track right there. If anything, I'd say he's the king of Talladega right now, especially
He's
with his performance in the infield last year. Hell yeah.
he's the king of the people.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, so that gets that out of the way. Let's get into some top stories. It just came out. I guess they're growing some legal marijuana outside of Pocono Raceway now. Yeah, NASCAR just saw like, hey, three she's with Kyle Busch. Let's just start growing pot around the fucking racetrack. I like that. That's awesome. NASCAR's expanding.
Yeah, I had a feeling you were gonna like that one.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but it's just, it's cool to see that, marijuana is not being seen as like something that's like,
No, it's just
heroin. Like, this stuff is a lot worse than fucking marijuana,
oh
Like
man.
I was looking at Twitter, and like a lot of people were saying like I'd rather be around a bunch of stoners and drunks at the race. So yeah, bring it on.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So
That would be a good time.
yeah, just gotta bring in like a new culture for these fans, man.
That's
Gotta
just about what it is,
gotta
yeah.
get everyone stoned. No one's gonna get riled up. Especially our boy Dalton. Walking
They're just
around with
all
that
gonna
Kyle Kush shirt, and he's a poser, man.
it's just all gonna be asleep is what's gonna happen. Everybody, the concessions, they're gonna go through the roof, man. They
Oh
better
yeah,
amp up concessions because there's gonna be a lot of time spent down there.
yeah, right. And then some new food sponsorships this weekend. Raising Cane's is going to be sponsoring Ryan Ellis with the Alpha Prime car, and Buffalo Wild Wings is also coming in. They're going to be sponsoring Jason White in the 13. They're going to be attempting to make it in on qualifying. So pretty cool to see like two big chains kind of come into the sport, even if it is for like one race.
Battle of the chickens.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, and then I'm sure you've been seeing it. NASCAR's 75 greatest drivers have been slowly being named throughout the week. First one that they named was Tony Stewart, which I think is a shoe-in right there. And then you got guys like Kyle Larson. He's already solidified himself as a NASCAR great with that championship, that amazing season that he had in 2021. Um, Greg Biffle, I think he definitely deserves it. He had damn near about 20 wins. He kicked ass down in the nationwide series.
Oh yeah.
Casey Kane, that was kind of an iffy one for me to name him kind of one of the greatest NASCAR drivers of all time. That one's iffy for me.
That one was definitely. He had though when he was like a rookie, he was there. He was the
Yeah,
man.
with
I mean,
Evernham Racing, yeah.
oh yeah. And
Yeah.
it's just kind of. I mean, he did win like one of the greatest races of all time, though. The Brickyard in 2017.
Oh yeah, that
So
was
with that
wild.
epic 3 wide battle right there, I'll still hate that race forever. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Man, yeah, and then Mike Stefanik, he's one of the greats in the Whelen series, the modifieds. And then one that kind of stumps me that got named is Randy Lajoie. So Randy Lajoie, he has 2 NASCAR Busch Series championships. He's got, let's see, he ran 350 races, 15 wins, 118 top tens. Yeah, that's pretty good. 2 championships. But if we're going to start naming guys one of the greatest if for Busch Series, then we might as well put Ricky Stenhouse in, Austin Dillon, Tyler Reddick. We might as well just put those guys in because they've already done way more than
Right.
what Randy LaJoie has done. Yeah, he's got a lot of Busch North Series stuff as well. They count that for, NASCAR whenever they do like the Hall of Fame and all that. They'll count whatever series, but to be named one of the greats, yeah, maybe you should go into the Hall of Fame. That's Hall of Fame worthy status right there. But to be named one of the 75 greatest drivers for just doing that, that doesn't cut it for me. Again, put Ricky Stenhouse or Austin Dillon in, might as well.
Ugh, gross.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get your point though. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what they were just trying to do is and not only cup drivers, they're trying to recognize everybody like Busch
Yeah.
Series, the modifieds, everything like that. So I can kind of see both ways. And it was just a different era at that time. But yeah, I mean, if we're gonna be putting someone like that in with 2 championships, then every 2-time champion qualifies for it. Who knows? It's gonna be interesting to see who else makes this list.
Yeah, because they already have the 50 greatest drivers, so they're only doing 25. So I guess we got to see who else is being named here. I gotta
Right.
say, maybe for even young guys, I know probably Chase Elliott's going to be in there. He's already a Cup champion and he's won multiple races throughout his career. But yeah, it's going to be weird for sure. I think there's going to be quite a few drivers that probably are not deserving to be in as the greatest drivers.
Right.
Alrighty, so yeah, let's get into our race review with Martinsville and the Truck Series race. Started off with rain. It was in the forecast all weekend. And this was the first race with wet weather tires on an oval track. And I will say they did use it to its purpose. They wanted to shorten the rain delays so, they could race on still a wet pavement track. They couldn't race in the rain per se, but it worked out with what they could do. So yeah, that was pretty cool to see wet weathers on an oval. Corey Heim, he won the first 2 stages. That kid's just on fire this year. In the 11 truck. And then lap 116, Carson Hocevar does it again, makes an ass of himself. He was hard racing with Taylor Gray. Taylor Gray just bumped and banged him a little bit, and then Carson said enough and just turned right into him and took him out. I'm really getting sick of Carson Hocevar
I think
shit. This is like the
everybody.
3rd time that he's done this.
I think everybody's starting to take notice of it. There's a lot of people who came to Twitter after that happened, and at what point do you just sit the kid down and say you got to stop doing stuff like this? You're just making an ass out of yourself, and if you're gonna keep it up, you're not gonna drive for us anymore because then you're giving our team a bad look. Like this is too many times with Hocevar. Yeah, he won his first race, but he did it in the most controversial fashion right there. Like who would it? Yeah, Carson Hocevar winning a race with controversy. Yeah, that's what we all expected. But to just keep it up, it's just not a good look for him. And I just don't see how he's going to excel any further out of this truck series if he wants an Xfinity and a Cup career, which I'm sure he does. I just don't see how he's gonna get up to those levels if he's gonna keep driving like this down here in the trucks.
Yeah, I don't
Right,
see
don't
how
matter
he would
now.
even be like re-signed to this truck. Like, if I was a team owner, I'd be fucking pissed off at him. I'd be done with this shit by now.
Well, yeah, that's why they need to sit him down and be like, you gotta chill, man. Like
Yeah.
you gotta chill.
Yeah, exactly. Whether it's taking people out or bringing out the cautions on purpose, this kid, I've just had it with this fucking kid. And like, oh, he saves it with his stupid looking hat. So
Nah, that makes it worse.
yeah,
Maybe stop wearing their stupid big ass hats and focus on being a good driver who doesn't have to do stupid shit like that.
yeah. There's a lot of drivers that should just go on and focus on racing instead of looking all trendy and wanting to go viral and all that shit. It's so stupid.
Uh,
Yeah. So after that, the rain came back down. Corey Heim was in the lead and he won the race. I mean, this kid was just dominant all race, so he deserved it. He had it coming.
Absolutely. Yeah. I didn't see much of this race. I was down on the nightlife on Friday night. So but yeah, he every time I checked my phone, he was always up in front. So yeah, much well deserving win for Mr. Corey Heim.
Absolutely. All right, and move on to Xfinity. John Hunter Nemechek, he owned the show. He swept the first two stages. All right, Nick, and your buddy Joe Graff Jr. got into it with Ryan Ellis. They both wrecked pretty much out of the race. And Alpha Prime Racing, they went on Twitter and just roasted the hell out of Joe Graff Jr. I mean, we've been seeing it for years now that this guy is a joke. He looks terrible whenever he gets into that 19 car for Joe Gibbs Racing, which is one of the premier rides in this series. So, yeah, it's about time that someone like either a team or a driver finally flame this guy.
Somebody's just got to say something. I just want to know, where is the money from this kid coming from? Like, he had that what, the
Bucked
big
up.
buck, yeah, he
Yeah.
had like that bucked up sponsorship, and but they don't seem to sponsor him anymore. I
I
mean,
don't see him around anymore.
I don't see him around anymore. Like, where is the money coming from? Is this guy like robbing a bank or something like that so he can drive race cars? Like, what? I just don't see the talent anywhere. He has not done anything. If anything, he's just hurting himself. That's what I said all year long. He's just exposing himself to how bad of a race car driver he is, because I just don't think he knows what the hell he's doing. We look at what we've seen Ryan Truex do in the 19 car, and then you pop this idiot in there, and well, he's just making a bad name for himself, and
Yeah.
I
Like
don't know,
we
man.
already know that Ryan Truex is not the best driver in the world, and he put that car, he got it into a second place finish. Joe Graff Jr. can barely keep it on the fucking lead lap.
Yeah,
This
that's
guy,
the thing.
he's a joke, man. I can't stand this guy. Like, it really sucks when money comes over talent in NASCAR.
Yep. I know what you mean.
Yep. Old Trevor Bayne just sitting in
It's
just
rotten.
no, yeah, he's just rotting, man. That's what's happened to all his talent. All right. So after that, Sam Mayer, Riley Herbst, they wrecked, took them both out of contention. I mean, two big idiots wrecking each other on the track on short track racing. What do you expect? And then Sam Mayer gets all pissed off, but he wrecked the whole field last year. This kid, I just can't stand him anymore.
I think somebody got into. I think because Sam Mayer was the one who was saying, "Oh, well, I can't say anything bad about JGR drivers anymore," because after what happened last year with him and Ty Gibbs,
Yeah.
uh, I think it was the 19 that might have gotten into him, and that sent him into the 98. Because he gave
Oh,
Ryan Truex the bird. He gave
oh
him the bird.
yeah. He did flip off Truex, but
He gave him the bird. So we were just praising Ryan Truex not that long ago.
yeah.
But no, yeah, that's tough right there. Another week for Riley Herbst where he's just getting wrecked and it's not even his fault.
Yeah.
He's
Started off the
still,
season great.
and now
And
he's starting to
schedule
come back
tweaks.
starting to come back down to earth a little bit. But yeah, Sam Mayer, Ryan Truex, yeah, that's a short tack deal right there. I always love it when drivers give drivers the bird, though. So I was a big fan of that.
Hey, you're number one.
I just love when they give him the bird and the TV broadcast picked it up, because then they're just like, "Oh, He's just showing him he's number one. Like they
Yeah.
have to come up with stupid, like obvious things like, oh yeah, he's obviously flipping them off. We're not gonna say that.
Yeah, right. Alrighty. So then John Hunter Nemechek, he just dominated this whole thing, won the race and burned it down. Literally, that was probably the coolest burnout I've ever seen. Like half of his car was on fire and he was still burning it down.
He's
Good,
about to
good for him.
he's about to take all that Dash for Cash that he just won, and he's gonna have to fix the car with it.
Yeah, for real.
But no, yeah, that was a total ass whooping. I don't think there's anybody better than that 20 car out there. But that's gonna be a scary sight to see going forward. It seems like he's up there every week and he just put on an ass whooping.
Yep. So yeah, someone needs to get beside him because it's gonna be a long season if it's just a John Hunter Nemechek show.
I hope not.
Yep. All right, so let's move on to Sunday. Man, we had a lot of
Ugh.
expectations for this race with how
Ugh.
good the short track package has changed, but with cold weather, the diffusers, a lot of people were saying the package is not the problem.
Yeah.
It's either something with the tires, the diffuser, or the weather even fucked up everything. But man, it was not a good race yesterday.
So we haven't talked anything about it, but this was one of those races where it's just what the fuck did we just spend 3 hours watching this for? I mean, you got a guy like Ryan Preece who goes out and dominates this thing, and then he gets sent to the back because of a penalty, and then he's like the slowest car on the track. How do you go from that? How do you go from kicking ass, dominating a race to almost being lapped in this thing? Like, that just doesn't add up for me. And this race was just a total shit show. I did not enjoy it at all. But we can talk about it now.
Yeah, could not pass at all. Just a lot of issues with this race going forward. And you could tell, like, when the sun came out, there was actually some really good racing, but then that cloud cover came back and it was just follow the leader for 400 laps.
Just could not pass. But yeah, the biggest thing to me is how you have a guy going dominating this race, blowing everybody out of the park, but because he got sent to the back, then he just couldn't pass anybody, and now he blended in. He just looked like a slow car, but he wasn't a slow car.
Can't pass a guy for fucking 25th place.
He was stuck. He literally was stuck. All these guys were stuck. I mean, Chase Elliott had a poor. I was expecting good things out of Chase Elliott in this race because he was fast with his lap averages in practice, but he had a bad qualifying lap, and he just never made it up there. So it's just something's got to change because the last couple of Martinsville races have been a little shaky. I will say that. So it's just they got to figure something out for this track in particular because I don't think it's the package either because we've seen some pretty damn good racing on this package. So I think it's just something they got to fix with the track and this track in Phoenix. Something's got to change with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like you said, the other short tracks, Richmond Raceway,
that's good.
Yeah, the Coliseum was great. Just got to figure out with these tracks. I mean, we know Phoenix Raceway is already kind of a dull track, so
you just hate to see it with such a prestige historic track like Martinsville, where we've seen phenomenal racing throughout the past couple years, and now it just seems like the last 3 years or so, it's just kind of been, or really the last 2 years or so, it's been okay, and they just need to go back to the drawing board here with this one.
And the fall 2021 race when we went, I feel like that was like the last good
good one. I really didn't enjoy. Well, the spring race last year was one of the worst races I've ever watched in my life.
Yeah.
The spring Martinsville race when William Byron won it, that was awful. And this was just right up that alley too.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if they're running at night or in the day. It just wasn't a good race. So yeah, they got to figure something out with these next gen cars at Martinsville because they don't run well.
It's just what sucked about it. Well, we saw it yesterday. There were guys who weren't pitting or guys taking 2 tires, and it didn't matter. As long as they were up front, they were going to stay up front. You weren't going to freight train a guy like that who didn't pit or something like that, and that shouldn't happen. Like you shouldn't have a guy who's staying out and he's on like 25 lap older tires, and he's checking out from you. It
Yeah.
just happened. It just shouldn't happen.
We
And there
s-
were a lot of pissed off drivers after this one yesterday.
Yeah, because we saw it all day. The only way you can pass a driver is you got to bump them out of the
You
way.
literally had to move them,
Yeah.
like, or try your best to move them. I know Bubba Wallace, he was getting bumper happy with his own boss. That's what you had to do to move them. And
Yeah.
like I get
Because
it.
Bubba had the fight to stay on the lead lap. Because
Right.
if he went a lap down, he was going to be stuck there forever.
Day's
So that was
over.
the only thing that he had to do. I was listening to Actions Detrimental this morning, and Denny was saying like he didn't blame Bubba one bit for
Yeah.
doing that. Like, yeah, maybe 1 or 2 times, let me know that you're there. But then he was like, man, 3-4 times, that's enough, man.
Yeah, you had to move them out of the way. That's the only way you
Yeah.
could pass. Like
That's what sucks
they're
about this.
it just it really does suck because for a track like this, with the racing that we've seen, it just to what it's become the last year and a half or so. We need to go back to the drawing board, and I'm sure they'll figure this out.
Oh yeah, they will. Whenever they bring out a new car, there's always problems, and they fix it within a couple years. So just like the car tomorrow wasn't really the best at first, and then look at that, it put on some of the best racing that we saw for a long, long time.
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty, so yeah, Ryan Preece, before he went to the back, he won the first stage and he encountered a problem. Kevin Harvick won the second stage. He got a flat tire. He went to the back, never came back to the front. Really sucks, but there's a lot of speed inside that 4 car this year.
I mean, yeah, every single week it seems like he's up there challenging, and this is something that we didn't see at all in 2021. We saw it towards the end of the 2022 season.
Yeah.
But now this last year, he ain't going down without a fight, and he is up there. He's in position to win like 4 races right now. So it's
If
only a
everything
matter of
goes
time.
right.
If everything goes his
good
way,
pit stops.
yeah, if everything goes his way, he could easily have about 4 wins right now, totally dominating the series. But it's only going to be a matter of time for Kevin Harvick.
Long season.
They're gonna put a full race together, and once they do, they're gonna put a lot of races together. And he's gonna win. He's gonna win his fair share this year.
Oh yeah, yeah. Regardless, I think he's gonna go out on top with his career.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, and then caution with 99 to go with a tire that was against the wall that the officials did not see for like 2 laps. A couple cars almost hit it.
Yeah, that one was interesting to me because it just looked like on TV. It looked like the official was looking right at the tire for a good lap, and they're like, "Oh, we should probably throw the yellow now."
That's dangerous.
Yeah, lucky somebody didn't run that thing over.
Yeah.
Who knows where that thing could have ended up?
Yeah, can you imagine? He just punted that and it goes into like the fucking 5th row or something, man. Who knows? It's a free souvenir right there.
Oh yeah, it's a free souvenir if your head doesn't get chopped off in the meantime.
With a hospital bill.
Yeah.
Alrighty, and then Kyle Larson, he came out in front and just dominated the rest of the race after that. Yeah, finally got it done at Martinsville. Kyle Larson, 2nd win of the year. Young Money's back to where he was.
I'm scared right now because every week that 5 car is always up there, and it's giving me some 2021 vibes. It took him a little bit to get those wins, but once he got them, he started going.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm afraid, but yeah, it's crazy. Kyle Larson goes out and he wins this Martinsville race, and then he's like, he was like almost shocked, stunned that he won a race at Martinsville because this place has not been kind to Kyle Larson in the past, but he just kept working on it, and that paid off for him. But yeah, that's him getting going right now, him on this hot streak. That's scary for the rest of the field.
Oh yeah. And he did one of the coolest burnouts ever. He did a burnout around the entire track. Yeah, it did not stop.
That was badass.
Yeah. The guy knows how to put on a show, that's for sure.
It's always cool to see the Ricky Hendricks scheme go to victory lane at Martinsville, though. So that That was cool for sure.
Oh yeah, one of the reasons why I like watching Kyle Larson win. See that paint scheme and it's Valvoline paint scheme that he's got too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, you got anything else to add before we end our show here?
Yeah. Just this wasn't it for me this weekend. I mean,
Yeah.
I was expecting more with what we've seen already this season, but they got quite a few months before we come back here in the fall. Let's hope that they can tweak this somehow so we can have a better race when we come back here for the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. Get rid of the diffuser, get rid of these mud flaps, change these tires up, and let's try this again.
Yeah.
Alrighty, everybody. Well, that will wrap it up for us at the Stock Car Spectacle. If you haven't yet, make sure to like our video and subscribe to our channel. And you can check us out on Twitter and Instagram. And make sure to check out our Talladega preview show that'll be coming out in a couple days. So, for the Stock Car Spectacle, I'm Ian Jortson.
And I'm Nick Kinzel.
And we'll see you guys next time.